I washed it late, so it's not dry. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Hope you're feeling fine. How's everybody doing? Hope you're feeling fine. What's up, Rachel? How you doing, girl? It's good to see you. I promised that I never would leave you. It's funny how the seasons change. The more that I try to forget you, it's funny how things stay the same. Without a rhyme or reason, when I look into your eyes, I know that I found forever. No hiding and no disguises. Reunion of souls, of mind, of space, over time, every place. I look and I see your face everywhere, constant reminder of everything I want to be, who I am and how with you I can be free. Okay, y'all, I just realized that I didn't do my special thing for Wi-Fi, so I probably need to plug it in, and it might bump you off. So all right, so if you get bumped off, just hang out and come right back. Sorry about that. It's been a little crazy today, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh snap, I'm looking at the cord. Okay, let's see if we can do it without any kind of hitch or glitch. Hopefully, no hitches or glitches or witches. Connecting. Okay, how about now? We good? Everybody good? Everybody can see me? Perfect. Okay, great. The people are texting me, so just hold on, sit tight. Okay, good. Excellent. All right. Yeah, I've been all over the place today. Chega bem devagar, calma, só me beija, cala, minha boca me leva desse lugar, minha sina, gana suicida, morte, juvena. Sabe me provocar, descer, me domina, me arranha, e me ganha mamonha, pra me acabar, minha sina, gana suicida, morte, juvena. você me agarra na tua nuca, daqui não largo nunca mais. Oh, oh, Sina gana suicida mochi chuvina dulce tangerina fayada fayada. Hey Reggie, para pa 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 da 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 da. Gana suicida mochi chuvina dulce tangerine. All right, sorry about that. I don't know why today everyone has decided to call me at the same time at 5 o'clock during my show. I don't really understand. Anyway, so hopefully nobody got thrown off. I feel something in me, and I'm moving forward into unfamiliar places. The wind whispers different colors, burning, turning pages, starting over again, thinking where I've been, where I wanna go, thinking who will I be in a year or so. I wanna go where the leaves don't fall, travel to places that I don't know, get lost a little, and I wanna see from the other side, lay in the grass with some peace of mind, get lost a little, 'cause I've been inside my head and I've been figuring the maze out, untangling the answers. I'm breathing in the new air, exhale the old 'cause I don't need it there. I've gotten to a place where I just don't care, thinking where I've been, where I wanna go, thinking who will I be in a year or so. I wanna go where the leaves don't fall, travel to places that I don't know, get lost a little, and I wanna see from the other side, lay in the grass with some peace of mind. I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they're dreaming of. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. It find yourself. You don't need nobody else. Oh, you should be right here with me, right here with me. Instead of running around this frantic town, stop messing around. All the lonely, lonely people out there, no one to care. Won't you come and stay with me, 'cause I love you so. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, don't go nowhere. Stay with me, stay with me. Won't you come and stay with me, 'cause I love you so. The DeBarge one? What's up, Maisha? How you doing, girl? Can I talk and play at the same time? Sometimes. That's such a great record. Oh, you should be right here with me, baby. Instead of running around that frantic town, stop messing around. All the lonely, lonely people out there with no one to care. Won't you come and stay with me, 'cause I love you so. Let's see if I can remember anything else. That album reminds me of LA and my friend Linda driving around. Oh, let's see. Last night I dreamed that you were here for me, and we were by each other's side. It was all so meant to be. Oh man. Yeah, I should just do that album. That's such a great album. And hey, what's up, Clark? Hi, Carrie, in this one. Right. Baby, won't you come quick? Oh, love, I can't get. Baby, won't you come quick? I'm starting to fade kind of fast. I don't know how long I'm gonna last, but I'm trying my best to be true, and I could use a little love from you. I know this one on bass. I should do it. That's such a great album, though. You're right. I wanna go where the leaves don't fall, travel to places that I don't know, get lost a little, and I wanna see from the other side. Lay in the grass, lay in the grass, lay in the grass. Lean into love, begin to love. Love will continue if you just remember to fight for the things that bring joy and contentment. Kill the resentment, lay down your guns, surrender. Arm yourselves for the fight of your lives. And lean in, lean in, lean in. Here's to the bad ones, the dreamers, the bad ones, sometimes sad ones, who get up every day anyway. Here's to the lovers, sisters and brothers, who fight to live right, be the light in the darkness. Angels among us get wrong but still love us. Lean into love, begin to love. Love will continue if you just remember to fight for the things that bring joy and contentment. Kill the resentments, lay down your guns, surrender. yourselves for the fight of your lives. And lean in, lean in, lean in. Here's to the warriors, the wanderers, the philosophers, those that pray in deep silence for peace and abundance, the people that live in the dark. Here's to the screamers, quiet dreamers, who fight to the right, be the light in the darkness. Angels among us get wrong but still love us, the ones who had a bad day but open the door anyway. Smile as they do, this one's for you, the mad ones, the dreamers too. Lean into love, big into love. Love will continue if you just remember to fight for the things that bring joy and contentment. Kill the resentment, lay down your guns, surrender, arm yourselves for the fight of your lives. Every day we fight to keep from going under, every day to save our souls. Turn your eyes unto the mad ones and the dreamers, let the magic unfold. Lean in, lean in, lean in. What's up, Terry? Lean into love. Oh, begin to love. And arm yourselves for the fight of your lives. And lean in. So yesterday was the magical Nona Hendricks' birthday. And yeah, so my Isha is asking for such a great song, Transformation. I actually got to sing this with her. I sang backup with her. It was so very cool. Yeah. Let's see if I can figure out what key it is. Rust to dust, us to them. Change your mind, change your skin. Life to death, weak to strength. Cash a check, change your sex. Day to night, dark to light. Hard to soft, on to off. Push to shove, hate to love. In and out, it's all about transformation. Variations, alternations, deviations. You know Mother Nature rules us all. I move and I go in time, fast or slow. I move through doors each time, less or more. Wet to dry, eye to eye. Yin to yang, pleasure or pain. Good to bad, crazy or sane. Hey, you make the rules and you play the game. Fist to glove, lose or win. In every life you sin and you're born again. Trash to art, heart to heart. Big or small, we're all apart. They're just transformations, variations, alternations, deviations. us all. They're just transformation, variations, alternations, deviations. Mother Nature rules us all. She moves us all. I move and I go in time, fast or slow. I move through doors each time, less or more. That is such a great tune. So yeah, okay, so years ago, I worked with Sekou Sundiata, who is this incredible, right, now I know the words too. Okay, yeah, those words are incredible. I didn't really know them before. I would just be, whoo, you know, just singing the us to dust, rust to them, whoo. It's got this really great part. But anyway, so yeah, so years ago I did this, I was working with Sekou Sundiata, and he did a fundraiser at, I think it was Aaron Douglas. It was either Aaron Douglas Hall or the Apollo, but I think it was Aaron Douglas. And Nona Hendrix was on, Ani DeFranco was on, and Sekou was on, and it was really cool. And so they needed somebody to sing backup, so I got to sing with her. Me and LaTanya Hall, and there, I feel like there was some, probably Keith Fluid. But anyway, it was so much fun. I mean, she's, how old is she now? Like, she's incredible. So for those of you who don't know Nona Hendrix, she was in the Bluebells with Patti LaBelle and Sarah Dash. And she's the third singer, and she is ageless, timeless, just like the last time I saw her, which was a couple years ago, and you know, I'm not one to tell people's ages, but she is definitely above 60. This woman in like 5-inch heels was climbing up on the speaker, and I was like, and they were like, please get down, please get down. And she was like, no, I'm good. I'm dancing on the speaker. Yeah. Anyway, she's incredible, and that particular song is probably my favorite. So, thanks, Maisha, you know, for making me stretch. At first, I was like, I don't even know how to. I don't even. 70. Okay, she's 79. Yeah, y'all should go, seriously, go find her on Instagram after this. Because I know she was performing this week. Listen, I want to be 79 and, you know, I want to be 79 and still doing music and still really enjoying it. I probably won't be climbing on speakers because I'm a little too scary for that. But, you know, no, it's okay. No, I'm a fan. Like, you know, it's really cool when you get to work with people that you are a fan of. I mean, sometimes it's not, because sometimes you don't need to know. And it's funny, like when I was at Fisk last week, so when I was a Jubilee singer, we got to do this really incredible gig at Constitution Hall. And it was the Jubilee singers, Phyllis Hyman, Tom Brown, and Noel Pointer. Of course I didn't, Maisha, I'm sorry. So, yeah, so it was Phyllis Hyman, Tom Brown, and Noel Pointer, and the Jubilee singers. And so, like, Noel Pointer and, I know nothing. Noel Pointer and Tom Brown invited us in their dressing room. If you don't know who Tom Brown is, it's a Jamaica funk, that's what it is. Let it get into you, oh, Jamaica funk, that's what it is. Funkin' for Jamaica. Anyway, so that's Tom Brown, right? And no pointer on that particular show. So he was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna like try my singing voice. He was this incredible jazz violinist, just an extraordinary human being, right? And this dude went out there and he sang a psalm that he had arranged. Seek me, O Lord. And y'all, I was done. I literally could not stop crying. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And Phyllis Hyman at the time, like we wanted to go visit with her and she was just not being nice to us. And then of course later I saw the Unsung and I was like, yeah, okay, I totally understand, right? But I have had the great fortune of being able to, like when I was a kid, I wanted to sing with Barbara Streisand, so I got to do that, which is really cool. And then when I was at Howard, like I was dating this guy that worked at BET on Rap City. And so he would get all of these CDs of all these different people and he would bring them home. And so I learned so much music and so many people. And one of the people that so many of the records that were made during that time were produced by V. Jeffrey Smith and Peter Lord. And of course I, loved In Living Color, and I had like all of these Brazilian Sarah Vaughan records. Like it was just such a good time for music for me. And I've told you how I met V. Jeffrey and like how I totally fanned out. For those of you who have not heard the story, I will tell it because it's quite funny. And I'm such a fangirl, right? But like he made all these records. Like he did Daryl Hall's solo record. He did Paula Abdul's record. They wrote a lot of the songs for that and produced it. Desiree, listen as your day unfolds. Try to imagine what the future holds. Try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted. Don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad. You gotta be bold. You gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard. You gotta be tough. You gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is love will save the day. And Heather Headley. Anyway, so I got this gig with this woman, Monet, she's a flautist. And, we'd been at rehearsal and stuff, and, Jeff was there. Jeff is so, like, laid back. He's so, And so the gig was at NJ Pack. And we went out there, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm getting a ride home, which is so typically me. Like, I don't know where the gig is. I don't know anything until I'm there, right? I don't know. It's a thing. And so, we've been playing all day, and then Jeff was like, yo, you want to ride home? And I was like, dude, I live in Brooklyn. He was like, yo, me too. And I was like, word? Like, all the way to Brooklyn? Like, I don't have to go into the city and take a train? He was like, yeah, I'll just take you home. I was like, great. So get in the car, and we're just talking. And then Jeff plays his music so loud. I was like, oh my God, the windows are gonna blow out of this car, and my eardrums probably too. But I was like, wow, this is so great. He goes, yeah, that's my band. And I was like, oh shit. I said, you're V. Jeffrey Smith. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, Mr. Smith, I'm such a fan. He's like, first of all, don't call me Mr. Smith. And I must have called him Mr. Smith at least a couple more times after that. And he was like, don't call me that. Mr. Smith is my dad. I was like, okay. But yeah, I totally fanned out. Like, I totally fanned out. I was like, oh my God, I love your work. You're so great. And so then he says, so, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, so I just started learning to play guitar, Mr. Smith. He's like, just call me V. Okay. So I'm starting to learn to play guitar, and I'm playing at this restaurant on the West Side, like down in the West Village. And it's called Voyage. And I'm just learning how to play guitar. He's like, okay, what time is it? And I was like, it's next Monday. I give him the time and stuff. I love y'all. So he comes, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. So he brings like all of his gear, like he just, you know, he's got his soprano saxophone, and I'm sitting there looking at him going, fuck. Like I literally had been playing guitar for a couple of weeks, and the reason that I took this gig, I was like, if I take this gig and I get on stage, then I'm gonna have to learn how to play guitar. So yeah, so I'm playing guitar with B. Jeffrey Smith, and I was like, and I told him later, I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for being patient with me, because I know that I sucked. And he was like, nah, you never sucked. He's like, you were always musical, you always figured it out. But anyway, and so I had known David through, I played with Andy Mills. Bye, Terry, I love you, girl. I had been playing, I'll play your song later, I promise. I had been playing with Andy Milne, who is this Canadian pianist, and his wife grew up with Dave in Barbados. I know, it's such a small, weird world. And so she had introduced us, and I was like, cool. And he was like, I'm doing this gig. So I had gone to see Dave. I went to see him on a Monday, and then we had our show on Monday, and I walk in, and Dave is sitting in there, and there's probably like 4 people in the room. And Dave has a book this thick of his music, and he's got his glasses on, and he's sitting there, and he is seriously playing, and I'm like, this dude is the best songwriter I have ever heard in my life. Like, I was just in the back by myself, that's usually how I go see music, and I was just like, oh my God, this guy. Like, his lyrics go straight to the soul of me. It just, so after the gig, I was like, okay, dude, that was such a great gig. Like, go talk to your people and then come with me. I have my gig, and you have to come. And he was like, really? I was like, no, come on. So I drag him over to my gig, and B. Jeffrey Smith is setting him. He goes, is that B. Jeffrey Smith? I said, mm-hmm. He's like, holy shit, you play with B. Jeffrey Smith. I was like, yeah, and you're about to too. And so then he sat in, and we're looking at each other like 2 little girls, like, oh my God, like we're so excited to be playing with Jeff, because, you know, Jeff is amazing. And then a couple of weeks later, we were having dinner, and my friend Titara was there, and her best friend Evie was there, and Evie's husband Corey was there. And so, you know, we're all eating and stuff, and you know, Corey's sitting there, he's got his hat on, he's very super low-key. And V is like, hey, you mind if Corey sits in and does a song? And I was like, no, it's totally cool. And then Corey gets up, and he starts singing, and I'm like, holy shit, he's Corey Glover from Living Color at my gig singing. And he's doing some people want to cry for love, some people will die for love, some people want to feel the pain, stand naked in the pouring rain. I only want to love again. Somebody knows, somebody says the last temptation is love. And me and Dave were totally fanning out. I had to leave the world behind, but desire brings me back every time. I had to keep my soul intact, but the passion always brings me back. I finally had to face the facts. Somebody knows, somebody said the last temptation is love. You never mind love, it just brings me down. Whenever I'm over you, the feelings come around. You never mind time, it just heals the scars. Wherever you go, I'll be. Wherever you are, I am in love. And then, of course, a couple weeks later, Peter Lord shows up. I mean, it was such a magical moment. It was like there were always more musicians in the restaurant than people. And every week, my friend Luke Mon, that passed away recently, was there. Like, he was one of the first. In fact, I think he came before B. Jeffrey. And he was just learning we learned how to play guitar together, and everybody was writing these great songs and singing harmonies. Jeff Judy came, Shelly Nicole, Anna Kay, Jenny Fujita, Carla Dre, and Carrie Ayers. And at that point, there were like 15 people in the band, and the vocals, and Ganessa James. I don't know how I could even forget the extraordinary Ganessa James, but the vocals were crazy. Jerome Jordan was there. Everybody was just there. We were all there, and every Monday we would get together and do this thing and make music, and everybody was writing and playing different instruments, and it was a really, really, really amazingly fertile time. Yeah, so I went all the way around that to, but yeah, I had been a fan of Nona, and of course a fan of Living Colour, and Hiram Bullock, same thing. I always wind up in these very strange places, and I, of course, because when you see people on an album cover, they don't often look like what they are. But the Family Stand, Moon and Scorpio album, I had worn it out. So many great songs, and my favorite is what's it called? I had a wet dream in the desert, and I woke up thirsty, and I didn't know why. Well, I'd like to get into something you can understand. An ocean in a teacup, great big world with little hands. The TV show comes on tonight. No one gets the station of my quiet desperation. Yeah, so, and I got to sing that with them. Yes, absolutely. Please do. I know. Yes, please do. Yeah, so I have been very fortunate. Somebody said something about the girl. I'm always fanning out. So the Barbra Streisand story. I don't know if I've ever told y'all. That was one of those moments where I was supposed to go down to Howard to do my graduate orals, and I got in the car and I drove down to do them, and my professor was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that next week," because I was like, "Sir, I'm taking off work to be here. What do you mean you don't have time to?" Well, I was hot, right? I was hot as fish grease, and I ran into my friend Eric Poole in the hallway, and he's like, "You didn't hear this from me, but they're auditioning singers today to sing with Barbra Streisand for the Clinton inaugural." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you didn't hear from me, but here's the details." So he gives me the details, so they didn't tell any of the jazz faculty, and at that time I was, studying jazz. I was doing classical as well, and the head of the department was like, he really wanted me to just do classical, but I was like, yeah, I'm good. So I called up my girls, that I sang with all the time, Hugh, and I was like, "Hey, y'all, there's an audition for to sing with Barbra Streisand today." And Norman, oh God, it's not Norman Lear, it's I can't think of his last name, but he was the head of the symphony at the time. Okay, I can't even believe that. But he was the head of the symphony at the Kennedy Center. And so he did the auditions, and I was waiting for the girls. They were late, of course. I'm like, how are these gonna be late? Anyway, so they finally get there, but he had already, heard me, and then we all sang together. And he was like, "Okay, so if I need you, I will call you by Thursday." So it was probably Tuesday at that point. So that's not true. It's probably Monday. And so he was like, "Yeah, if I need you, I'll call you Thursday." So I didn't hear from him, and I was on my way back to New York. I had just packed up my car, and I went back inside because I had left my phone like a dummy. And he called, and he was like, "Hey, are you available? We're gonna do a rehearsal, and then we'll do the show at." So I go to rehearsal. I was chosen. There were 2 other female singers, and a friend of mine also got on, a guy named Ed Sneed. And so we go to the rehearsal with the symphony, and Barbara Streisand walks in. I was like, because normally you do the rehearsal and then the singer comes later. And so she was like, yeah, you know, I've been having this stage fright, and and she's looking at us and she's like, oh my God, do you guys know who I am? And we're all just, I was like, and when I tell y'all, I mean, you know, they handed out Evergreen. So we sang background on Evergreen, and I'm like, but she walks in and she's like right here. Like she's right here. Our mics are here. We're, you know, we weren't singing on this particular song. And so we're just singing, and she just comes in and she's like, some enchanted evening. Y'all, I was like, I quit. I'm done. I clearly do not need to sing ever again. I mean, and I've heard her recorded and everything, but like the tone of this woman's voice, like it is really something to behold, and it was just a magical thing. And so the next day we go back, like, you know, I'm driving to the Capitol Center. I'm in my little red Tercel, you know, and I'm driving, and like we get stuck on the freeway, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are we stopping? Oh, clearly because inauguration, and there's Jack Nicholson was in the limo in front of us, so he gets out and he's standing on the highway, right? And you know, the sun is setting, and he's wearing this pink trench coat, and his hair. I was like, okay, I don't even know what I'm about to be in for. And of course, I only had 12 exposures in my camera. 12. So we get to the Cap Center, you know, and they show us where the dressing room is and stuff. And so I had gone out to, I don't even know what I was doing. I was meandering, probably, as usual. And I was just standing there minding my own business. And Thelonious Monk Jr. walks up. And I was like, huh? And he's like, hey, so I heard you play piano. And I was like, how do you play? What are you doing here? He's like, I heard you play piano. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, well, you should meet Herbie. And on my brain, I'm like, Herbie the Love Bug? Like Herbie Hancock? If you bring Herbie Hancock in here, I'm not going to be functional, right? I'm not. So he's like, I'll be right back. So he goes and gets Herbie Hancock. So I'm standing there having a conversation with Herbie Hancock and Thelonious Monk Jr. Right. And then of course Winton walks up, and you know, Winton and I yeah. Anyway, so Herbie's like, well, I mean, do we have to stand in the hallway? Like, why don't you just come in the dressing room with us and just chill? Y'all, so I go in the dressing room, right? And Michael Jackson walks in front of us, you know, with his entourage of, you know, children, all the children of the world. And I was like, what is happening? The Fonz was there. Edward James Olmos was there. So then I go to like the dressing rooms, it's not really a dressing room, it's like a big, you know, open, and then all of the people. So in that particular dressing room where I was, Grover Washington, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Judith Jamison, and Al Gray. I'm not kidding. Yeah. So it was quite the night, and it happened. You know, see, these things always happen. Like, you know, because my mom was like, "What are you doing with your life? You need to get a real job. You need to get married and have some kids. You need all of it, right? All of it." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And so I didn't say anything. I took my 12 exposures, right? Bill Cosby was there, you know, before the shame of it and all the crazy. Like, so I have these pictures. I love the universe too, right? God and the universe cannot be defeated ever. So I took the pictures and had them developed. I didn't say a word. And I sent them home. And my mother got them and she was like, what were you doing with all these people? Like, do they know who you are? I was like, well, no, but, you know, I was hanging out. She's like, what were you doing? I said, Mom, I was singing at the Bill Clinton inaugural. And she's like, what do you mean? What? Yeah. So, and I think Robert actually found, I think you sent me a YouTube of the video. Like, it exists. Like, I didn't think it existed or that it was there, but it is. It's a real thing. It really happened. It was just such a magical moment because like so many things had to happen for me to be there. You know, here I am thinking I'm going to go do my graduate orals, and I run into Eric, and I finally got a chance to thank him a couple years ago, and I was like, thank you so much, because nobody, that's not true. One of the other women was from the classical faculty, and Lorraine Hines, and she's absolutely amazing. I would love to know what she's doing these days. She had this incredible voice. But that was one of those like magical nights where just but Laverne and Shirley were there, y'all. Jack Nicholson, like Melanie and Don Johnson, and but like all of my musical heroes. I mean, like the jazz band was just incredible. I mean, Herbie Hancock and Thelonious, and I mean, they would have been more enough, and then Little Richard and Chuck Berry. It's like, wow, this is intense. So, yeah, she didn't have. I mean, you know, it was a while before she, you know, said anything else about me needing to be married and, you know, have kids and not be a musician and all of that. Girl, listen, I was so excited, and then it's like when I rejoined the other singers because they weren't with me, I was like, y'all. They were like, well, where were you? I was like, I was staying in the home minding my own business. And I got sidetracked, you know. But I mean, you know, the conversations that I had with Herbie were, you know, just incredible. And it's so funny because I just watched this master class at the beginning of the pandemic because, you know, I don't really consider myself I don't solo and do all the stuff, but in like the first of his master classes, he's like, no, you can solo. And I was like, me? You talking to me? Herbie? You talking? So I took that very seriously. So, you know, he has really helped me with my soloing, whether he knows it or not. Yeah. So that is my Barbara Streisand story, and my V. Jeffrey Smith, and my Nona Hendrix story. So, yeah. I don't talk about this very much. It always feels a little like I'm not bragging, but I mean, it happened. And it was cool, and it sort of shaped who I am and how I think. And I mean, you know, working with folks like Nona and Sekou it's magical. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Sekou Sundiata, and Jerry Allen had been telling me about him. She's like, girl, he's so, and I was like, okay, Jerry, okay. And then I saw him, and I was like, oh my God. And then he comes out on stage, he's, you know, tall, dark, and just beautiful. And he's like, I once married a woman when her back was turned. I was like, who's this person? What are you talking about? It's crazy. But yeah, so, you know, right? No complaints, no regrets. And actually, oh my God, okay, so this is a crazy story too. I was supposed to study with Shirley Horn, who made the song famous, and she was coming to Howard to teach. And she blew up that summer. And so she didn't come, and I was like, damn. But Grady Tate came and Jerry Allen, so I got to study with both of them, which was super, super cool. And, you know, Grady sings, I'm just a pill. Yes, I'm only a pill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. And he does, naughty, nasty, mean, old number 9. Yeah, and so many other, you know, beautiful and wonderful songs. Like, I heard him sing what are you what are you doing the rest of your life? For the north, south, east, and west of your life, I have only one request of your life. That's to spend it all with me. All the reasons and rhymes of your days, all the nickels and the dimes of your days, all the reasons and the rhymes of the days, all begin and end with you. I want to see your face in every kind of light, in fields of dawn or moments of the night, and when you stand before the candles on a cake. Oh, let me be the one who knows the secret wish you make. Those tomorrows waiting deep in your eyes, in a world of love you keep in your eyes. Da 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 da. Winter, summer, spring, and fall of your life, all I really will recall of your life is all my life with you. Yeah, I learned that song for our first lesson. He was like, oh, I love that song. I was like, I know, because I heard you sing it, and I love it too. Yes. They used to call him the baby Sarah Vaughan because he sounded like a male version of her, but he had been this drummer. Like he's this extraordinary drummer, and he didn't sing until much later in his life. I mean, it's so interesting, like him and Shirley Horn. Shirley, I think, was in her 60s. When she hit, like, she had a career early, got married, had kids, raised the kids, and then all of a sudden just sort of, you know, blew up. Anyway, no complaints, no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets, 'cause I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you've got. Had my share, I drink my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to know what's down another road, another hill, and do it all again. So here's to life, every joy it brings. So here's to life, the dreamers and the dreams. It's funny how the time just flies, amazing how a warm hello turns to sad goodbyes and leaves you with the memories you've memorized to keep your winters warm. There's no way lasted yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings, what takes away. Well, I have learned that in this game, you gotta play for life, for laughs, for love. So here's to life and every joy it brings. So here's to life, the dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. Storms be weathered, all that's good get better and better and better. Here's to life, here's to love. Yes, Rachel, here's to you. Flesh and steel are one, shining in the colors of the noonday sun. Tomorrow's rain will wash the stains away, but somewhere in our minds will always stay. On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will sing how fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile. All right, y'all, you know what to do. Go be the light for somebody. Praying for the world, for peace, for love, to make a comeback. Here's to enlightenment, to love. I love y'all. Thank you. That was such a quick hour. That was not the show I had planned at all. On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will fall. How fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile we are. Here's to freedom for the captives. Pray for peace, people everywhere. For those who are feeling sorrow right now, may they find comfort and love and light. Alright, so I won't see y'all for the next couple of days. I mean, unless it's some sort of, little pop-up. Yeah, but I will see you Monday. On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star. Yes, Reginald, ever on the altar, on the star. All right, y'all. Let's see you later. Thank you.